All right, LaMelo Ball gets a goodbye from Miles Bridges. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, drop a video. Check the link tree. I was late with posting the podcast from Saturday, man. So my apologies. It was already up. Just always look at the Spotify. I'm always have it up. I'm always try to have it up in the future. But if you want notifications on how you can listen to on Spotify, check the community tab. Follow me on Twitter. I try to pin as many of them as I can in the comments. On my Twitter profile. So, and I started giving updates on IG and Facebook stories too. So, give me a minute. I started to master how to put a link over the Facebook story. So, but nonetheless, man, always check the link tree. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all in the link. It's the first link in the comment section. It's the link tree link. Click it. Take everyone produce the content. So, man, let's get into it. So, I seen this post on social media, on Twitter to be exact, yesterday. So, I mean, the Miles Bridges story is going super duper crazy. Um, and somebody said, obviously, they are Charlotte fan, Buzz City Dogs. Said Miles Bridges saluting LaMelo goodbye, removing the Hornets four from his bio, about to leave Buzz City if this happening. So, for the most part, we already talked about the bio thing last night. If you missed it, I think it might be I did a video on it yesterday. So apparently, this is a goodbye emoji, a salute emoji. So he's saying goodbye. Now, I think Friday, him and LaMelo Ball were working out together, right? Um, this might have been the workout. It was reported they was working out together um and all that type of stuff. So I mean, at the end of the day, his best friend came out yesterday, or some people say it's his brother. I don't know, and said that Michael Jordan will pony up the money that they gonna move on to Detroit. So that's what he's saying. Don't make it true, but nonetheless, Michael Jordan has been trying to get first. Last year, we heard stuff. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Charlotte had nothing wrong with Charlotte. I'm considering moving down there. Hope I move down there sooner than later. Charlotte is dope, man. I was on the east side last time. I was in. My cousin stays in. Jesus Christ, it's I can't remember, Matthews, I believe it. He lives in Matthews, a suburb of there. Um. So yeah. I'm looking to kind of move to the area. Hopefully sooner than later. I can't take Detroit too much longer, dog. But nonetheless, none about my personal gripes. But yeah, he pretty much, they said he's saying goodbye, friend. All this stuff starting to add up and stuff. Michael Jordan tried to release PJ Washington. He couldn't get the contract off, whatever reason it was. Tried to Gordon Hayward. They trying to get, attach one of the 13th and 15th pick with Hayward, excuse me. And I'm thinking that had Gordon Hayward only had one more year, um, had he only had one more year on his contract, I think, if we being honest, I'm thinking somebody would have took that pick. In my opinion, somebody would have took that pick, and I'm thinking somebody would have took that pick with him, or if that pick was a top 5 pick or 6, 7 type pick or higher in the lottery, I think they would have been able to get Gordon Hayward contract off, or at least if he had one more year left attached with the 13th or the 15th pick, they would have been able to get that pick off, and they couldn't because that player off and that pick off because he got 2 more years left, on his contract. He got two more years left with 30 million to 30 plus $1 million, something like that. So that's gonna be tough to remove, and they couldn't been able to remove it. And then on top of that, the scary thing about keeping and paying him would be like he only had one good year, and that's just the virus beware sign. But the one thing that supports that, or I'm gonna say supports it, but could support it in a positive way, is simply that he only 23 years old, and it finally clicked in his brain. So he only 23 years old. So think about that for a minute. He's only 23 years old. So he getting better and better. So, a lot of the fans want to keep him. He's a highlight reel. Now he adding skills to his game and he's young, and they just simply couldn't move PJ Washington. It's only like 4 teams with cap space. I think they say San Antonio, Detroit, Pacers. Pacers other team in the running for Miles Bridges, they say, in Orlando Magic. And the thing about you go about the teams where they could dump that contract, Orlando got enough forwards. Jonathan Isaac still on the roster. Franz Wagner still on the roster. And maybe they could fit in Gordon Hayward. They need a veteran like Gordon Hayward. You think San Antonio would like Gordon Hayward? They losing Lonnie Walker the third or the fourth, whatever he is, excuse me. So they definitely can use Gordon Hayward, but I think they got plans on getting people in free agency. But he been injury prone, so I don't know. So I think Michael Jordan, he cheap. He don't want the luxury tax. He made the right decision on Kemba Walker, not paying Kemba Walker a bunch of money. And it worked out. And maybe this situation, it may work out for them as well too. Or maybe, maybe you trusting PJ Washington with that same role, and maybe he had the same growth, and then, people won't be looking at him funny. But obviously, when you are as talented as Miles Bridges and you dunk the ball like Miles Bridges, and you put the skill behind and the athleticism, come on now. The fans ain't gonna want to see that going, but they got a lot of young talent. They paid Oubre. You know what I'm saying? So they paid Kelly Oubre as well too. So it's a lot going on there. It's a lot going on there. It's a lot going on there, man. So, um, but it ain't like they got nothing behind them. You got Oubre, you got PJ Washington, who can play that four, and I mean, they got talent behind them. They got talent behind them. So, but I mean, with him saying goodbye, I mean, it could be posturing to get his money from Jordan. Maybe Jordan them told him, well, his agent told him, well, they don't want to pay you. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a number of things. It could be a number of things. So, but if that's the case, I welcome to Detroit with open arms. He from Flint. He might be suspended next year too. So don't forget that he might get suspended. People say, well, he threw the mouthpiece at the fan. I ain't heard nothing about it. John Morant might get suspended too. They talking about with the parties and stuff, and remember they was talking about we had the lean in his cup and then Miles Bridges. He said it was pink lemonade or something like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, they got to keep LaMelo Ball happy too. So if him and Miles Bridges is cool, sometimes you got to bite the bullet, pay the luxury tax. If you can move Gordon Hayward next year at the trade line next year, do it. Or you can trade him at the expiring year, trade him. But they made some bad cap decisions, man, with Kelly Oubre. I'm not saying he's a bad addition. Don't take that the wrong way. Paying Kelly Oubre, paying Gordon Hayward, but they they probably didn't see that type of breakout season for Miles Bridges last year, and now they're gonna pay for it. Terry Rozier, well, that's why your drafting got to be on point, right? Which they drafting been pretty well. And like I said before, it is what it is, man. So we'll see what happens with Fowler's development. Who knows? Michael Jordan, they might convince him to pay the money. They may not. So let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, the subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Other than that, you can hit the link tree. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Spotify, Anchor. So all that's there, man. All that's there, man. So appreciate the love and support. Check out Detroit Prison Talk playlist. Peace.